Hey guys, so I know that you were interested in running D&D, so I thought I would make a video to kind of help anyone who wants to get started on how to play D&D online, since we are all quarantined right now, that I would kind of walk you through how to design a character and whatnot. Now, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to do on your own. I cannot create a character for you. I cannot walk you through how to make a character. There's going to be some reading that you're going to have to do on your part to figure out what they do and how they play. And when it comes to the rules of D&D, I might recommend, I'll probably try to share some videos on YouTube, like YouTube videos and stuff that'll walk you through how we can do this. All right, so here we are. I'm at dndbeyond.com. I'll link that in the description down here. So anyway, you are playing in dnd.com. So how do you get where you need to go? So first thing I'm going to do is go to collections here, and then go to my characters. Click on my characters, and you'll see some of the characters I had made in the past pop up here, and this will save all of your characters in the future. So I had a Divine Soul Sorcerer I created, and then another one that I was just having some fun with. So how do you make a new one? Up at the top right, create a character. And again, I'm not going to walk you through every race, everything here. You're just going to have to do a little bit of research on your own as to what kind of thing does what, okay? So let's do standard. So we're going to do standard. If you want to show the help text, I highly recommend it for you guys, for beginners. It'll help you figure out what you need to do. So we're going to go ahead and click standard, and it'll jump right into whatever you would like for it to do. So here we go. So give your character a name. I'm going to call him Behringer. I don't know why I'm going to call them that. That's just what. Or you can do fantasy name generator. That'll help you select a name. Or you can randomize a name as well. So the first thing you want to do, you can do homebrew content. That's fine. That doesn't matter. Playtest content, Magic the Gathering, sure. Eberron's fine. Rick and Morty. You can select all of it. All that's going to do is open up other options whenever you're selecting your characters on how what options will be available to it. So for right now, yes, we're going to do milestone level progression. So click on milestone. I'll explain that more when it becomes relevant. Basically, it just means I'm not going to calculate experience points every single time we do an encounter. I'm just going to let you guys level up whenever we're ready to level up. Fixed hit points, feats, and multi-class requirements are going to need to be checked as well. Just make sure those are checked. I'll explain those later. Encumbrance types. Yes, we can use encumbrance. It may come into play. It may not. Don't worry about that. Ignore coin weight, of course. Always ignore coin weight. Otherwise, it gets really complicated math. Modifiers at the top. I'm going to have you guys, this is just a personal preference. So basically every time you have a character and you start upping their stats, there's going to be like the main stat, and then the modifier can go below it or above it. It doesn't really matter. This is just your preference. I'm going to put modifiers on top so I can easily access them. And you can make them public, private, however you want. All right, so we've got this part. Let's go to the next thing. Choose race. So again, these are all the races. I am not going to go through all of these right now. You're going to have to read and do some stuff, whatever seems interesting to you. For me, I'm just going to pick human because I normally am humans, and I don't like being anything more complicated than that. But when you click on a race, it tells you a little bit about what they are, and it gives you their racial trait. So this one gives +1 to all ability scores, and I'll show you what the ability scores here are in just a second. I also get 1 extra language as well. If you want to learn more about them, you can click on the human's details page, and that should take you away from this website to the actual human. This is everything that you're going to need to know about humans right here on this web page. Okay, let's go back. Maybe if we can go back. Let me go back. Let me return. There we go. So it's going to take you back to your character page that you've made online. All right, so I'm going to pick, just to show you the difference between like that and an elf. There's 3 different kinds of elves: Eldarin, High Elves, and Wood Elves. Eldarin are also known as Dark Elves. Like a High Elf, they get a +2 to Dexterity. They get Dark Vision, Keen Senses, Fey Ancestry, and Trance. And you're going to have to look up what these abilities do, but they will automatically put them on the sheet, and it will fill you in later on how they do that, all right? So that's just to show you the difference between your races and the bonuses you get. I'm going to pick human. because I like humans. It also tells you down here a little bit more about it. Their ability score increase, age. It tells you how many years they can be. Their alignment, alignments, how is they're good, are they evil, etc. How big are they? Their speed, their languages, etc. I'm gonna pick human. Spent a long time on races here, but I'm gonna pick human. Now we're gonna jump to which languages and which ability scores I'm going to increase. So that tells you more about what I did. And the language of my choice, I'm just going to choose So I have common. You always know common. But I'm also going to pretend that I've learned some of these races. If you didn't pick magic, like Sylvan, Undercommon, Vidalcan, stuff like that, those are all magic terms. So the Magic the Gathering, if you want to do Magic the Gathering. I'm going to learn also Giant. I was raised among giants, so I'm going to pick Giant. All right. That's my additional thing. If you were another race, you would adjust some stuff down here as well. Go to next. Now on next, you will get to pick your class. So your race is what kind of genetics and stuff you have. Your class is what's your job. What do I want to be this time? All right, things easy as I just kind of go through them, and you can click on them and it'll tell you more about them. But here's the gist. Barbarians break things, bards sing, and their singing helps people. Clerics heal, druids like nature and have nature magic. Fighters like to stab things and cut things. Monks like to punch things with special powers. Paladins are kind of a mixture of a fighter and a cleric. So they heal and they sword stuff. Really good for beginning players. A ranger likes bows and arrows and likes to hunt things down. Rogues are stabbies with little knives. They like to assassinate people. Sorcerers get their magic power from some kind of background. Either they were a dragon or have dragon blood in them or some other source. Warlocks have made a deal with some kind of force, whether it be an angel, a demon, or something like that, and through a specific conduit, they're able to channel that being's power because they signed a contract with that being. Wizards know things. They know magic from the ability to learn more, and they cast spells based off of learning the ins and outs of spells. So wizards are kind of difficult if you're not an experienced player. If you're going to go for a magic class, I'd recommend either a sorcerer or a cleric at the beginning. Warlocks are pretty easy too, but wizards are a pretty complicated class for magic users. Anyway, pick your favorite. I'm gonna be a monk this time. I'm gonna punchy punch things. So it tells you here what your hit dice is. Hit dice are used for several things, mostly used to heal you during long rests, but they can be used for other things as well. Their primary abilities are going to be dexterity and wisdom, and I'm going to go through those ability scores here in just a minute. And their saving throws are also strength and dexterity, which means they're really good if something happens to them. So strength is like if something's like falling on them and they have to catch it and stop it, like if a door is closing, that's a saving throw, which it's like reactionary. So he's really good at like saving things, and then dexterity is like jumping out of the way of stuff. So these are the hit points. Tells you it's automatically going to calculate your hit points, etc. But it just gives you all this information. What are they good at? Proficiencies means what are they good at? They don't have it. They're not good at armor. Monks don't want armor. They're think of them like Jackie Chan, like they kung fu things. So they're good at simple weapons. Simple weapons would be any impromptu weapon. My cell phone, this is an impromptu weapon. This is a simple weapon. Okay, they're good at short swords. And then choose any one of the type of tools, etc. Saving throws, we've gone through that. Unarmored defense. So these are things that you get a benefit from as you are like being in your class. So immediately I'm going to get unarmored defense, which means at my first level, while I'm wearing no armor and wearing no shield, my AC, which is my armor class, equals to 10 plus my dexterity modifier plus my wisdom modifier. So armor class means AC means how easy is it for them to hit you? If you'll roll a d20 anytime you want to hit somebody, and you have to get big or more than that person's armor class in order to hit them. So this basically means that while you're not armored, monks have a better job of defending themselves without armor on. Makes them harder to hit. Martial arts, they're also going to gain all of this stuff. I'm not going to read it right now, but basically they're really good at martial arts and punchy things. Ki, they also have kind of like a magic ability at the second level. They're going to be able to use ki to be able to strike objects harder and even increase speed and distance in hitting things. Monastic Tradition, when you reach third level, you're going to pick your you're going to gain all of this stuff. Again, deflecting missile, that goes higher, ability score improvement, slow fall. So they get all of these extra things as you level up, and you'll see at the seventh level, etc. If you want to read through that, this is where I said you're going to have to do some parts of reading through. So there's a lot of stuff there, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Monk because I like to punchy punch things. Also, you can what we call dual class, but we'll get into that more as we go along. All right, not doing it at first level. You can't do it at first level anyway. Proficiency. So now we're going to select our proficiency. We're going to have to pick a tool of some kind, I believe. Yeah. Choose a musical instrument or an artisan tool. So I'm going to pick, what kind of monk am I? I'm going to be I don't really care. This isn't like necessarily going to be a real thing. I'm going to do a wood carver. I'm a wood carving monk. There we go. Now, monk's skill. So I get to choose 2 skills that I'm proficiency in. I'm going to be acrobatic, and I'll get to skills in a minute. Skills are like things that you have to do in the game, like actions you'll have to take in the game. So if like, hey, I want to jump from this ledge over to this ledge here, I'm like, okay, cool, make an acrobatics check, and you got to roll, and you got to beat that score. If you're better in the skill, you get bonuses for being better in it. So I'm going to do acrobatics and religion. So he's a religious monk. Okay. So I've got armored defense, available at higher levels, etc. So I've done that part. And if you notice, it gave me the little exclamation thing went away, which means I've selected those. So now we're going to, bam, go to the next one. Now this is where we get your ability score calculations. This is what I was talking about. This is how I want you to choose a generation method. I want you to do the standard array, okay? I think it's a standard array if it's going to do the right thing. Yeah, I think so. Or is it point by? It might be point by. Hold on. I think so. I think it's a point by. Yeah. It's a point by. So select point by. You can do standard array if you want to, but if you do point by, you're able to, you have 27 points to add to here however you want. Just so you guys know, you will get bonuses for being at higher levels, but you cannot go higher than, I think, 15 in any one point by system. Yeah, you can't go higher than 15, I don't think. Right? Yeah, point by. Let me just look at standard array real quick. I'm learning this together with you. So standard array, yeah, you can only go up to 15, right? All right, yeah. All right, that's cool. So we're just gonna go point by. Point by. So yeah, do point by. You're gonna increase your levels to where you want. So down here, it's gonna give you your full information for each one of these. So I'm going to go through them real fast so you know what they are. Strength, how strong you are. When you are asked to make a strength check, you're going to be checking your strength and you'll add your modifier. Right now, my total score is 9, and it will calculate the modifiers here in a little bit. So anyway, you strength, how strong you are. Dexterity, how much you can move, how fast you can move, how much you can dodge. It's all about movement. Okay, how well can you move? Constitution is how strong are you? How resistant are you to poisons? How hardy are you when it comes to how much damage you can take? Constitution determines your health, stuff like that. Intelligence, obviously, how smart you are, but this is your ability to learn spells, learn things about the world, etc. Wisdom is more of how much your experience, how much you've taken your knowledge and applied it in real world. So someone can be really dumb but really wise at the same time, or vice versa. Someone can be super smart but have no common sense. Wisdom is more of like that common sense of how does it apply in the real world. And charisma is how much people like you. And how much do you get along with other people? So my monk that I'm going to create right now, he is going to be pretty strong, and he's going to be very dexterous. He'll have a decent constitution. Intelligence, he'll have an average intelligence and an average wisdom and an average charisma to start with. All right, so those are my averages. So just to give you a heads up, if you take an 8, that means anytime you make that kind of roll, you're going to take a -1 penalty to whatever you roll. If you're at 10 or 11, nothing happens. So like 8 or 9, you take a -1. 10 or 11, you get nothing happens. If you are at 12 or 13, you get +1 to that roll of that type. And then it goes up from there. 14, 15, you'll get +2 to that roll. And then up higher than that. You can go higher than that. So like you see, because I'm a monk, I get a higher dexterity score. Because I'm a human, excuse me, I get +1 to all of these bonuses automatically because I'm a human. Because it says racial bonus down here. You can see that. That's +1 bonus to everything because I'm human. If I was an elf, I would have a higher dexterity than that. But nothing, I don't think, can go above 18 at your starting level. So I still have 4 points remaining. I am going to be charismatic. Okay, so I'm going to have people like me, and I'm going to be wise, but my intelligence is going to be pretty normal. So that's going to be my character right there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take down intelligence to normal, or wisdom to normal, and I'm actually going to up my constitution a little bit. I'm going to up it to... Wait, okay. 13? Can I only go 13 for constitution? That's funny. 13. Okay, there we go. So my strength and my constitution have gone up. All right, so now we're going to look at these scores. Once you've calculated it all, go next. All right, so this is my character's name. You can add a picture there if you get to it at some point. Background, I'm just going to choose a just a regular. You can choose from a standard background, or you can make your own if you want. So you can select. Come on, load please. There we go. You can select custom background, and you can adjust these as you want. I'm just going to make a standard background. But what that allows you to do is you can change your skill proficiencies and whatnot. So I don't know if I want to do Sage now, come to think of it. Probably Noble, because it'll change your skill proficiencies. History and Persuasion. Yep, that sounds more like me. So I'm going to choose a gaming set. I'm going to choose a dice set. He's a gambling guy, kind of. Another language that I've learned is going to be... So he already learned giants because he was raised among giants. And he's also going to learn... I don't even know. Dwarvish, sure. All right, so this tells me about my privileged position. It tells me about my background that I picked. Now, if you create your own background, you're going to have to type in all of the rest of this stuff down here, this extra information. So personality traits, I get to choose 2. I'm just going to choose 2 random ones right now. You can choose, go read through these and pick your own. I'm going to choose another random one down here. All right. So, I get to choose, sorry. It said choose 2 personality traits. So I'm going to add another random one. All right. And then my ideals, I picked an ideal and I picked a bond at random, and I'm going to pick a flaw at random. But you guys can pick these individually if you want. Character details, my alignment. My guy is going to be neutral good. Okay. And if you remember about alignments, I'm going to leave this alone. You can just look up alignment if you want to know. His faith, he is spiritual. And again, according to this world, he's kind of like, I'm just going to say it's like Buddhist, but it's not actually, he's not actually Buddhist, because Buddhism doesn't exist in this world. But his lifestyle, he's going to be a poor guy, so he doesn't have a whole lot going on because he's a wandering monk. Physical characteristics, this is where I can talk in. He's got no hair. I'm just going to say, I said mo. None. Skin, pale. I'll say he's tan. He's been traveling around outside for a bit. Eyes are going to be blue. Height, he's going to be of fairly average height. 5 foot 10 inches. Weight, he's going to be 175 pounds. His age, how old is this guy going to be? He's been wandering for a minute. Not too far. He's going to be 25. Gender is going to be male. And then other personality characteristics, personality traits. Okay, so those things are the ones that it picked up at random. And any other notes that you want to add to it. Any organization, allies, enemies, backstory, you can fill all of that in as much as you possibly want. When you're done with all of that background description information, now we're going to look at your equipment. You are not getting attuned to magic items at the beginning of the game. Okay, I'm not even going to go there. All right. So I'm going to choose equipment to start with. He's going to get a simple weapon. Simple weapon he's going to get will be a... Ooh, there's a lot of fun ones in here. I don't even know what a Yiklua is. I have to look. Let's look that up. Yiklua. Yiklua. I don't even know what that is. So let's look it up real quick. Oh, that's kind of cool looking. It's an equipment in D&D. So it's like a spearish thing. Don't look at that. That's not the right thing. That's not the right thing there. That's not it down there. So it's like a spear-ish thing. That's kind of cool. Action packed. You know what? I'm picking that. I'm picking that thing. I don't even know what it is, but I'm gonna pick it. He's gonna need an explorer's pack. He's not a dungeoneer. He's got darts for a crossbow, I guess, if he needs it. It's kind of weird. Clothes, signet ring, scroll, and this will all come from your background. So when you pick your background, it's automatically going to pick some stuff. Don't add starting equipment. I can give you that as we go along. Any active items, inventory, other possessions. If you have a personal possession, add to other possessions here. Like if it's part of your backstory. But like I want you to know that in this game there are no guns. There are no just because of the world that it's in. There are no guns. There are crossbows. But no, you're not going to like have crazy stuff at the beginning of the game. You can find those things, but you will not have at the beginning of the game. Think of like anytime you've played, what's it called? Metroid Prime or something, where like Samus is like super powered, but she like crash lands and loses all of her stuff. That's what's happening here. So once you get your equipment, now what's next? You can go ahead and view your character sheet. And what that's going to do is take you to your character page, and I'll be able to walk through everything that's important on the character page. Come on, load. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. D&D Beyond. Computer's not happy with our internet right now. Not happy at all. All right, so here we go. So remember those modifiers I was telling you about before where I said mod on top or number on top? This is what I'm talking about right up here at the top. These numbers here are going to be added into any kind of score. So if I say make a wisdom check, make a charisma check, you're going to roll and then add that number to your result. So let's say I say you're trying to convince someone of something. You're trying to see if anyone in town recognizes you. I say make a charisma check, and you roll a d20. So you roll an 8. Well, you add the +1 charisma modifier to it, making it a 9. And I would tell you, sorry, you did not pass. No one in town seems to recognize you. Apparently here, nobody knows who you are. Now, if you'll look down here, so here are your saving throws are the important things. So if I'm like, a big boulder is falling on you, do you try to catch it or do you try to dodge? I try to dodge. Cool, make a dexterity saving throw. All right, I roll a 13, +5 is 18. All right, you flip out of the way. That's how that works. Passive wisdom, intelligence, and perception, all of that kind of stuff. I will let you guys know how that works here in a bit. Right now, I'm going to move my face away. Right now, I have no armor, but I am equipped with a short sword and a simple weapon. Why is it not showing me my simple weapons? Oh, I guess I didn't choose new proficiencies. Okay. Did I not do this right? I thought I did it in the Yiklua. Enter source note. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. Okie dokie. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, so these are all of the stuff that I have down here. I don't know why I didn't change my simple weapons around. I guess it's the weapon that I have in my thing. Oh, that's why. I'm dumb. So I am proficient with simple weapons. I am not proficient specifically with a Yiklua, whatever it is. I'm not proficient with that yet. So you can become proficient the more you use it. So there's that on this side. I'm going to move myself back down again. All right, now you are at, over here, your proficiency bonus is up here. So your proficiency bonus is +2. That's going to be added into all of these skill checks. So this next big old column here is a skill check. So let's say you're trying to go into town and there's a guard and he's like, stop at the door. And you're like, oh, no, you can let us in. It's totally fine. I, as a D&D, would say make a persuasion check. You'd roll the dice. You're like, ooh, I rolled a 7. And I was like, well, you add +3 to that because your persuasion is 7, or is 3, so it becomes a 10. You still didn't pass, but that did help a little bit. And you're like, fine, I try to intimidate him. Cool. Go ahead and roll. You roll. I rolled a 13. All right. You give +1 as a 14, and that still didn't pass when you tried to intimidate. So that's how it would work for this column over here. Initiative right here is going to give you a +3 to your initiative. So when I say roll for initiative, like you're about to enter combat, you roll a d20 and you add that number to it. So yeah, I got a 17. +3 is a 20. Sweet. You're going to have the ability to go first much faster. Armor class is 13 right here. This is how hard it is to hit you. And it actually clicks. Oh, you click on it and it tells you what it does. Oh my gosh, that's so helpful. So if you forget, it's right there. Your inspiration points up here at the top. You only get one at a time. Whenever I say, hey, you gain an inspiration. Come on, get off here. There we go. When I say you gain inspiration, ding, you add that inspiration point right there. All right. Right now, you guys don't have inspiration. Any defenses that you guys might have, you don't have any of them right now. You could get those a little bit later. Any active conditions aren't going on right now. Your current hit points are 10. Your max is 10. And then if I said any temporary hit points, I would allow you that there. So like if you were a bard and you sang a song, you could give your team temporary hit points. So you could say temporary hit points there, and then those would be expended first. So, oops. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize all of the other stuff you can click off of it. All right. Go back down, no temporary hit points. And no extra stuff. So yeah. Anyway, there's that page. Now down here in this box down here is all of your specific information about who you are and what you do. So here are some things that you can do as a monk. I can do an unarmed strike. Okay, and it tells you what it does here. Unarmed strike, you can punch, kick, headbutt, use a similar force blow that deals bludgeoning damage equal to 1 plus your strength modifier. So 1 plus my strength modifier up here is 2, so I get 3. Okay? So I can do that. So it's going to be, and that already calculated it up here, bludgeoning damage. So to roll, I'm going to roll 1d4, but I get +3. Does it let me roll it? Dang it, it does not. So you would roll that in Roll20, which I'll get to in just a second. So you have a reach of 5 feet, which means basically right in front of you. You kind of dash forward and hit him. And then hit or DC +5. Oh, that gives you +5 on your roll. So like if you're trying to hit someone, you can add +5 to it. So those are attacks, and you can break them down one at a time. Unarmed strike, and as a bonus action, I can make another unarmed strike. So how a monk basically works is I get one normal attack trying to hit somebody with a weapon, like with a sword, and then I can unarmed strike as another action. Okay, so other actions I can do, any bonus actions that I have, reactions, an opportunity of attack of opportunity, which everyone can get. I'll explain that as they come up in the thing, and then other actions. But all of your actions are right here. Now go to equipment. This is what I was talking about before. You don't have any attuned items, no. And other possessions I didn't add. So I thought I did this. Starting equipment. I thought I answered this. Equipment. Simple weapon. I thought I chose an explorer pack. Did I not do that? I thought I did that. Maybe I didn't click add starting equipment. Maybe I'm a goofball. So you're going to click on that stuff. There we are. Okay, I don't know why I did that. So right now I've got 25 silver. Wait, 10 silver pieces and gold. Okay, anyway. So this shows all of the stuff that is in my backpack right now. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, which means it's equipped right now. And will that change my actions? Let me see here. Yep, there it is. So if you equip your item, so you go down and you click your item, ding, now you have another action over here at the top, which is my attack action. I now have the okay, which is a little pole arm which I can put in front of people, and I get 1d8 plus 3, and then as a bonus action I can punch them. Okay, so that's kind of how the monk will work. Okay, so let's go back to equipment. You see all of the stuff that are in your items, inventory, etc. features and traits. So this is going to tell you more about you as a class, and if you have any racial traits, you can get those as well down here. So unarmored defense, I talked about that, how my AC is actually really good as long as I'm not wearing armor. And martial arts tells me all of that stuff, which is important. You guys can read that later. Description of my character. So I picked the noble. This gives me all the background. Otherwise, your background that you typed in yourself is going to appear right here. And any other notes that are important, you can put there. Extras would be, what is manage extras? Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. So like if you had a pet. So if you're like a ranger and you manage to have a pet or something like that, that's where this would go. So I was wondering what that did. All right, so that right there all together is how you would create a character sheet. And now again, as I said, if you want to change your picture, you can click up here, your picture. And when you go to edit character again, or change portrait, etc., you can change what you look like. Okay, so that is how you make your character. Tune in next time for how you can use Roll20 to play.